Hey, Mizzou fans, Mark Fitzpatrick, Tiger Club, Kansas City. It is Tuesday, January 16th. It's our first meeting of the year due to the weather cancellation last week. And our guest today from KSHB 41, Tod Palmer. Tod, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
You were highly entertaining with the crowd. Want to get to the Chiefs in a minute, but Mizzou wrapped up a great football season with the win in the Cotton Bowl. I think all things are looking up to the Tigers, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's playoffs or bust next year. I know that's a lot of pressure to put on a coach who just had his first winning season in year 4 with the program. But with what they have coming back and with the momentum the program has in recruiting, I think expanding to 12 teams, obviously, right? Like I think you've got to feel like that should be the goal, and I think it's a realistic one for Mizzou next year. I look forward to seeing what Luther Burden can do. There's some questions about the defense and who's going to be leading that unit, but I like the direction and the momentum of the program under Eli Drinkwitz, and I think everybody's already excited. I think if football season could start up again next week, people would be happy with that.
Well, I mean, basketball's on a tough stretch here.
That's part of why we need football.
But Coach Gates had a great year last year. It's been rough this year, to say the least. I think obviously Mrs. Kobe Brown, big.
Yeah.
And he's got a great recruiting class coming in. So,
well, and that's the thing. The leadership, the toughness, those intangibles that Kobe Brown brought to the program. That maybe Jamoy Hodge too, having played with him in Kansas State,
and he's in the NBA,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of talent to lose, but that's also a lot of leadership. A lot. Those two guys could be conduits from Dennis to the floor in a lot of ways. I don't know that they have that quite to the same level. They obviously don't have some of the interior presence with Kobe to the same level. It's going to be a rough year.
Yeah.
I think. They're going to be toward the bottom of the SEC, but they got the number 2 recruiting class in the country. The Peyton Wallace kid or whatever, who that dude's like Baby Shaq. He's crazy. Like that recruiting class is really, really good. I think Dennis gets a pass because he won an NCAA tournament game and stuff last year, but we're going to want to see a faster start next year, I think, if you're a Tiger fan.
Yeah. All right, big topic today. We want to talk about the Chiefs, which you cover a lot of. Great win. I thought they dominated the Dolphins.
Yeah.
As my toes were freezing. I did enjoy the game, but it was a lot of fun. They go to Buffalo this week, and everybody's making a big deal about Buffalo home game. Chiefs are 6-2 on the road this year, 4-4 in Arrowhead. I don't think they're intimidated.
I don't think Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid are intimidated by anything, and so if they lose, it's not going to be because Patrick Mahomes was scared, and Andy was shy about running his offense, or intimidated by Bill's Mafia or something like that. I think it's going to be a good football game. I think the difference maker, though, actually is the Chiefs' defense. We've been so used to, I talked about this during the meeting, but we've been so used to kind of mediocre to really bad defenses. Going back to Greg Robinson and the Dick Vermeil era, and some of them Bob Sutton years, right? Under Reid, but I don't think people in Kansas City truly appreciate how good this defense is. I think this defense has more respect outside of Kansas City just because of our history with being hurt by defenses. I mean, we still remember D Ford being offside, guys. And so there's some pain there that's very real in Chiefs Kingdom. But this defense is legit. If they can stop the run, and if Pat and the offense can turn some of those Harrison Butker field goals into touchdowns, I like Kansas City's chances in Buffalo.
That's the one thing I want to ask you, though. The red zone, it's an issue. 4 times the field goals the other night. They had 6 field goals against the Bengals. What is the issue in the red zone, you think?
Well, I think they've lacked an identity down there. I think teams have know that the Chiefs aren't great at power football when they get in close like that. And I think they know that Pat's looking for Travis first. I think Rashee Rice has stepped up and has played a role. And I think I think maybe a guy like McCole Hardman Jr., who's been in the system and he's been in big games, can be a difference maker down there. Or maybe a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who, I can't remember what game it was, but climbed the ladder for a touchdown.
New England game.
So there's some guys that have shown flashes and are capable. It's just a matter of can Andy find the right balance, right mix? I think they've figured out that Rashee Rice can be one of those guys too. But I think defenses are figuring that out too. So who's the next option? Who's going to step up? That's what they need.
Last question, your outlook for the 2024 Royals. They were very active in the offseason. They're better. Are they good enough in a weak division to maybe make a playoff run?
If everything goes right, maybe. I still think 72 and 90 would be a good season for this group. Their starting pitching's improved, their bullpen's improved. So maybe they can make a jump. Vinny Pasquantino, some of those guys are coming back from injury. There's a lot of reasons to expect they are much better, but they're starting from such a low floor. This is a 56-win team. If they win 16 to 20 more games than they did last year, I still don't think that puts them in contention for the playoffs, but I still think that is a tremendous step in the right direction. And applaud John Sherman and the ownership group for at least going out and spending some money to correct some of these problems, if nothing else. Fans have been begging for it for years. Whether the moves all work out, history says all of them will not, right? But, at least they're taking a stab at it and not standing pat. And whether you're cynical, knowing that there's a potential vote on the horizon and feel like that's the reason he did it or not, doesn't matter. At least you'll have some more enjoyable baseball this summer.
All right, Todd, thank you.
Yeah.
You're terrific. He knows his stuff, and he's highly entertaining. So come back again and see us.
Will do.
Hey, next week we will have a true Mizzou legend, Terry McMillan, who was the quarterback of Mizzou's last conference championship team in 1969. He will be our guest speaker at the Flea Market. So come on down and see us. For more information on meeting and events, go to kctigerclub.com.